Hey everybody, and welcome back to Viper Magic's channel. I am not Jim Efantis. My name is Brent Cosina, and from time to time I interrupt his silly EA Play, Ubisoft Store, Microsoft Game Pass videos with real game reviews by a gamer who's playing the games. Now, Jim did finish a couple games. He's got this Metro Exodus thing up. He's got Virginia the game up, or whatever, that Virginia game. Which he didn't really like. But I just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And oof, that game is not good. So, little history with me and Tomb Raider. I've never played any of them before the most recent reboot. So this is the third game in this reboot series. So, not before the Tomb Raider game of 2013, 2014. I played it on the Xbox One, so it was like the remastered, up-res version. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great little adventure game. The puzzles were great, all the little gadgets and stuff, and how you were, like, backtracking through the island and opening up new areas and then going over, you went this way, and then you got to this thing and said, oh, you can't do that yet, and then you went here, and then by the time you came around and finished this big loop, you had a new gadget, and it came back and it was like, oh, I'm back in this spot. What am I supposed to do here? I've already been here. And then, oh yeah, I remember this little thing right here. And then, boom, that took you on a new loop, and a new loop, and a new loop. And it was like a spiral of gadgets. And that was a really cool gameplay loop. So the first one, I highly recommend to anybody who likes these adventure games and stuff like that. Definitely worth your time. Rise of the Tomb Raider I liked, and some people like that better. It took place in, like, Siberia and stuff, and the stories of these games, like, the first Tomb Raider was in the Pacific Ocean, so you had a lot of, like, ancient Japanese temples and things like that. And, so the mythology and stuff is all, like, wacky and basically, who knows. The Siberian stuff, I can't really remember what the mythology was of that game in Rise. I think we were in, like, India as well a little bit in that game. But I do remember liking it as well. And this is the third game, and this is supposed to be like the finale. And remember when at E3 they were showing off Laura's new like stealth kill ability and how she was just maiming people left and right with her knife. All that stuff is still here. But what's weird is that they focused in the trailers and stuff on the combat in this game, and there's really not a lot of combat in this game compared to I think the first game. It felt like there was this constant loop of, climbing, puzzle, combat, climbing, puzzle, combat, climbing, puzzle, combat. Whereas this game is like explore, climb, puzzle, explore, climb, puzzle. Oh yeah, combat. And then each time you do combat, it's like they threw you in the deep end as much as possible. Like the first real combat encounter in this game, when you got, I think the rope arrow or whatever, which I never used other than this one encounter. It took me a long time to beat that first one because the enemies in this game detect the shit out of you really fast. And you're supposed to be like stealthy and stuff like that. And I just don't think it works very well in this game. I think the stealth is too jittery. Like, not jittery, but it's too easy to get detected, basically. So they tell you if you're in high vegetation, you can't be seen, which to me, that means I can't be seen. And in other video games, Assassin's Creed, if you're in vegetation and you're in stealth mode and you can't be seen, you can shoot a blow dart, you can fire a gun. Obviously, you don't want to do that in that game. You can throw a dart, you can fire a bow and arrow in, like, Assassin's Creed 3, and still not be seen. This game, you're in vegetation and you pull your bow and arrow back and you like stand up in the middle of it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is insane. And then you're instantly seen. As soon as you draw that bow and stand up, everybody's like little red meters go up and they're like, ooh, 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 I see you, I see you, I see you. So that is a terrible, terrible thing. And it just like ruins the whole stealth of this game. In fact, towards the end, there's this one area where they're like purely like, okay, we want you to stealth kill all these guys, because as soon as you walk out of here, everybody's going to see you and start shooting you with their automatic weapons and you're dead. So it was like, really? You give me all these options of how to kill these guys, a couple of weapons, these gadgets, and, you know, the stealth kill thing, and you're forcing me to use the most basic, rudimentary stealth kill thing ever. Each encounter felt like there was a specific way they wanted you to solve it, as opposed to, here's an open play field, solve it any way you'd like, basically. Because anytime you went off of these like tracks, like say, I don't want to stealth kill these guys, I want to shoot them out of the sky. Well, that wasn't working and I got killed. Or I was like, well, let me use my arrows that make them go crazy. Up, drew an arrow, everybody can see the top of my head and they're all shooting at me. Up, can't do that either. So that was really disappointing. So they tried in this Shadow of the Tomb Raider game to give it more of like an open world feel, and it's not really that way. It's still more the same thing of like Rise of the Tomb Raider, where you go into an area, there's one way in and one way out, and then everything around that you can explore, and it kind of expands, like, you know, it gets bigger, but there's still one way in, one way out. But in this game, like, the other thing I did not like, so remember how I was talking about the beginning in this video about the original rebooted Tomb Raider game, from a couple years ago, where they had a loop with the gadget loop. So you got every gadget in the game. This game does not give you every gadget. I came across places and they said, you need a reinforced knife. You cannot go through here. Did I ever get a reinforced knife through the game? Nope, not through the story. There was times where I said, you need a rope ascender to get through this. Did I get the rope ascender? Nope. So I was talking to Jim about it at work last week and I said, what's the deal? And he goes, you have to do side missions to get these gadgets, and they don't tell you which side missions to do to get these gadgets. So every like big area you go to has a hub, and these hubs have these side missions, and they're supposed to be, side missions. I don't give a fuck about these side missions, because Tomb Raider is about this loop: climb, combat, puzzle, climb, combat, puzzle, climb, combat, puzzle. It's not about stupid side missions where you go free some hostages that are in the Incan Empire, or go collect plants and stupid shit like that. That's not part of the gameplay. Don't give me that shit. And if you're going to hide gadgets behind these side missions, you need to tell me what side missions I need to go do in order to get that gadget. Because there is a lot of challenge tombs and shit that I did not discover or go down or go through because I was missing these gadgets. Now, thankfully, these gadgets weren't used in any challenge tomb, so it was only like a barrier to get to a new area that I did not get to use them. It would have really sucked if I had done one of these tombs, these side tombs or challenge tombs, whatever they call them, and they're like, here's a rope ascender. Sorry, buddy, you don't have it. Get the fuck out and go back the way you came, or good luck. Or go find a campfire and fast travel through the world. So that was a bummer. So I just finished the story. I'm not really interested in going back and doing anything else in this game. Don't care about these extra gadgets. The story was bleh. You met the guy who ordered your father killed with Trinity. Did we ever really learn what the fuck Trinity was, or what this organization wanted to achieve other than world domination? No. Did we get any motivations behind them? No. We just discovered, surprise, they killed your dad. And this particular guy in here was the guy that called the order. So that's why Laura's pissed. The whole Incan thing and the Mayas, whatever the culture was, the Aztecs, is like a mixture of all three. Sorry, it is late. I really didn't care. It's not to say that every Tomb Raider story I've cared about. Like, maybe the second one, I certainly did not know what was going on. They certainly did not explain the plot of this thing at all. You know, you're looking for something, you think you're causing the destruction of the world. Turns out you're not, but you're still panicking, and then you're looking for this silver box, and then it's a wild goose chase to go do that. And you find the guy, and then you find the guy who killed your dad, and you get your revenge. Surprise, surprise. So it's all kind of weird. all kind of weird. So that's a little thing there. I was really let down, disappointed, and maybe that's because this particular game was not developed by Crystal Dynamics. Instead, the main Crystal Dynamics, who did Tomb Raider First Reboot and Rise of the Tomb Raider, are doing this shitty Avengers game that's coming out where Captain America needs a fucking flak jacket when he's got a shield and can deflect bullets. He's a super soldier, doesn't need a flak jacket. Anyway, so they handed this off to, I think, to Eidos Montreal, and they're the ones who probably designed or developed half the shit anyway. Maybe that's why it feels so different from the other games. So, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, 3 out of 5. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't memorable either. And I'm going to get rid of this game as soon as possible. So, thank you guys for watching, and like and subscribe to Jim's YouTube channel. If you like comic books, come over to my YouTube channel, BK's Bullets, and check it out. And give us a like and subscribe as well. Ring that bell when you want to know when Jim's got new videos or when Brent's interrupting your previously scheduled Jim video. And we will see you guys next time on the other side. Bum, bum, bum.